Glorious risings, dear family. Wagwan, Ola, Konnichiwa, Shalom, Shalom, and Shalom to every melanated man, woman, and child on this planet. And according to the soul's truth, all of ye which harbor the power of the universal soul, spirit of life, and or which bear the mark of the universal spirit's visible soul skin. I am just a man with a conviction, treading wisely. What is my conviction? How am I treading wisely with it? My firmly held belief and or firmly held opinion is that God will have his world, God will have his people moving God's speed forever. Soul speed, one belief, and one foundation. And how wisely? Because I have knowledge of the soul's truth, experience within the spirit's ways, as well as a good and balanced judgment of both of them. Now, I desire to plant my knowledge and experience within the ethos of your world in order for its termination to elicit through the minds, hearts, and actions of the people better behavior by any moral means necessary, using what can be known as Christ logic, or hyperlogic, and or balanced logic. Check these words out. Shalom, real quick. Want to mention what they mean. Shalom. According to what I've studied, peace and greetings, and or destroying the authority attached to chaos. I'm a big advocate for destruction. And now that I know exactly what needs to be destroyed, I just want to put a little bit more effort in seeing it be destroyed. The authority attached to chaos. That's what that means, shalom. Shalom, meaning restoration, good restoration, or repayment, or to restore. That's what shalom in AM means. Shalem, good and or complete or perfect peace. So, shalom, shalom, and shalem to every melanated man, woman, and child on this planet. Moving forward though, this video is going to be called Exploiting the Soul's Behavior and Extorting the Spirit's Character. This video is going to be called Exploiting the Soul's Behavior and Extorting the Spirit's Character. What do I mean? Well, for one, the only thing that exploits and or extorts anything in this world is the enemy. The only one. So, that's one of the enemy's tactics, wouldn't you agree? What does it mean to exploit? To make full use of a thing, or like a resource, to make full usage of a resource. And to extort means to obtain something by force, threats, or in or other unfair means. To exploit and to extort. That's what the enemy does. The enemy is pure evil, and what it started out as is what it will remain. The enemy is pure evil. We are pure good, at least at our core, in our heart of hearts. So, I'm going to take one of the enemy's tactics and turn it for good. How am I going to do that? By explaining how to extort the spirit's character and explaining how to exploit the soul's behavior. So this video is going to be called Exploiting the Soul's Behavior and Extorting the Spirit's Character. BKA, just taking what the enemy meant for evil and turning it for good. So, in short though, remember, to extort means to obtain something by force, threats, and or unfair means, and to exploit means to make full use of a thing, or make full use of something, like a resource. To make full usage of a resource. That's what exploit means, and that's what it means to extort. You can look up the words to get the full, elaborate, full, detailed, eye-to-eye definition and validation, if you so desire. But I'm going to extort the spirit's character and exploit the soul's behavior. So, as I said, I'm a big advocate on taking everything that the enemy meant for evil and turning it for a good reason, or turning it for something good. So, how do you, or how could one extort the spirit's character? Trust in the spirit. Long story short. How could one exploit the soul's behavior? Respect the soul. Long story short. So there you go. This is how I'm going to take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it for good. The enemy extorts everything from us. Everything. The enemy exploits everything we are. Everything. It extorts everything from us and exploits everything we are. Extorts and exploits. Extorts and exploits. And the same way it started is how it will end. So I'm going to take one of its tactics and turn it for a good cause. So I'm going to extort the character of the Spirit by explaining how to do it. I'm going to explain simply how to extort the Spirit's character, and I'm going to explain simply how to exploit the soul's behavior. Just going to explain it. That's how this is the first step that I'm going to take in taking what the enemy meant for evil and turning it for good. So, how do you extort the Spirit's character? Trust in the Spirit. That's the first step, to extort the character of it. So, how do you trust in the Spirit? First off, you have to know what the word trust even means. Trust defines as a firmly held belief. I just added the firmly held in there. It's really just a belief. But at any rate, a firmly held belief in these four things: the reliability, ability, truth, and strength of someone or something. A firmly held belief and or just a belief in the reliability, ability, truth, and strength of my King Yeshua. Just threw that in there because you know, the eye of the Jesus in me. My, Yahweh Shai, thank you for the words you put in my eye. And I'm going to say it out loud too, brother. This is how you extort the Spirit's character. Trust in it. Trust in the Spirit. That's how you extort its character. Have a firmly held belief in the reliability of your Spirit's capabilities. What is your Spirit's capabilities? At its core, honest to God, finite quality. Peace, respect, balance, and progression. Balance, calmness, and serenity. Perception, the ability to perceive. Morals. When you fully define the word morals and you get to the end or the end of the loop, that the moral definition, since the enemy is the one that put what the definition of morals is in our faces, don't forget that everything came from the enemy. We're just using for the best ways that we can use them for. Everything came from the enemy. Don't ever forget that. So it's always going to have a lie and a truth in it simultaneously. Always. It's always going to have a poison and an or a potion in it simultaneously. Always. It's always going to have a problem and a solution in it simultaneously. Always. Whatever came from the enemy will never be just a solution. It will always come attached with a problem. Always. Just keep that in mind. So, due to everything of the enemy coming with a problem and a solution, I'm just going to remove the problem and just give you the solution. So, here's more ways to extort the Spirit's character. Trust in the Spirit. You don't even have to use the word extort. I'm just using the tactic of the enemy for something good. That's all I'm doing. Like I said, I'm going to tell you all one thing. 10,000 times, 10,000 ways, thousands and thousands of variations. This is just one of them. What all am I going to tell you? Free yourselves. Soul freedom is self-freedom. Soul liberation is self-liberation. A soul theocracy is a self-theocracy. Common sense, you serving you. So extort the good behavior out of your family. Yeah, sure. Just going to say it. The enemy does it. So I'm just going to flip it. I'm going to table flip it. Moving forward, though. So have a firmly held belief in the reliability, ability, truth, and strength of my King, Yahweh Shai, Horus, Osiris, Yeshua, Emmanuel, Christ, Enki, Yahusha, Ra, Thoth, or Odin. Many different names, one method of operation. The provision of balanced knowledge protection. Balanced knowledge protection. Balanced knowledge protection keep you living right. In Hebrews 13:8 is how his clock ticks. So, moving forward now. So to extort the Spirit's character, long story short, is to trust in the Spirit. What is in the Spirit to be trusted? My King, and his abilities, and his powers, and his energies. The Son. The power of the Sun itself is within our minds. We are the solar flare. Think about something real quick. In the chapter of Genesis, In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, as it scrolls to verse 5, I believe this is where it's at. I have to look at it again to master it. It talks about how when the sun was nucleated, it chased the darkness out of the still waters. When our Creator nucleated his sun, it chased the darkness out of the still water. According to the Bible, you can believe whatever story you want to believe. This is the one I'm going to stick with because it makes the most sense to me because of how much it correlates or coexists and corresponds with our reality. When the sun was nucleated, it chased the darkness out of the still waters. What are the waters? The heart, or at least the power of the heart, so to speak. As the spirit, as the soul's energies are connected primarily with the waters of the universe, look deeper into it. Moving forward, when the sun was created, it chased the darkness out of the waters. That's what it did. Yeshua is the sun. Trust in him. Christ is the son. Trust in Christ. This is how you extort the Spirit's character. Trust in Christ. But see, here's the thing. How you going to trust in him if you don't even know him? Why would you trust in something you don't know of? Know who he is so you can trust in him. Who is the true king of us all? Meaning, who is the true king of kings? Sister of mine who makes the videos, who has the channel. I just subscribe to you and you subscribe to me. I appreciate you. You just put in one of your videos how the crown chakra is the king of all kings. You're absolutely right. You want to know something though? It's more to it because here's the thing. There is an entity inside of our minds that wears the crown chakra. You want to know what that entity is? It's our ajna, and or our third eye. The ajna wears the crown because the ajna itself is the king of all kings. That's why it wears the crown, my dear sister, who made the channel The Power of Ra. It's good to meet you, sister. The Power of Ra. Yeah, Ra is one of the names of my king's vessels that he was incarnate in, that energy that I'm talking about now was incarnate in our history, within our history. Ra is one of his names, or one of the names of the people, one of the names of the incarnate vessels he was in, just like Amun. Amun and Ra, two different people, like you taught. Knew it though, but thank you. Thank you, because a lot of people don't know anything. I'm still learning a lot of things. But you spoke on this though, how the crown chakra is the king of all kings. You're right, but that's just still more, a little bit more, because the thing is, the inner ajna is what wears the crown. And the inner ajna, meaning the eye of Horus, or the eye of Ra, the power in the center of our minds. The eye of Horus, the eye of Ra, the eye of Yeshua, the eye of Yahweh Shai. Many different names, one method of operation. Know who he is, because I'm getting ready to tell you now, using a remix of that Little Kim song. My true king is the provider of balanced knowledge protection. Balanced knowledge protection. Balanced knowledge protection keep you living right. And Hebrews 13:8 is how his clock ticks. You see? So yeah, Hebrews 13:8 says Jesus Christ, the same today as you were yesterday, and you were as you were will be forevermore. Forevermore, meaning Christ does not change from who he is right now currently. And he never changes. So that means he is just balanced knowledge protection permanently. Keep you living right. Know who he is and trust in him. Trust in him. This is how you flip the enemy's extortion tactics for something good. Because you take the meaning of the word and apply it to something. Meaning like you're obtaining something. You don't have to say by force, threats, or other unfair means. Because here's the thing. The first word in the definition, obtain. That's all you need to really see right there is obtain. Okay, great. To extort means to obtain something, right? Okay, so obtain a better behavior. Obtain a better behavior. due to the times we're in, if I was to reach a certain position, I would have to extort better behavior from my family. I would have to, no choice. Because you're not going to give me a choice. Because here's the thing. The devil extorted the evil behavior from you. It did. It did. I'm going to say it for right now. I'm not going to say the gender y'all believe in. It did. So moving forward now, extort. To obtain something by force, threats, or other unfair means. How can I extort your spirit's character? Because that's what I'm doing here with this part right here, with the first half of this explanation. I'm extorting your spirit's character. How can I obtain something by force, threats, or under unfair means? This here message, just by me putting it in your face and saying it out loud, all you have to do is hear it. You just need to hear it. Hear it and make the clearest sense possible. That's the first thing you gotta do. Not the only thing, just the first thing you gotta do. Once you hear it make sense, it'll resonate and resignate. It'll resonate and resignate. It'll just do it. Why do you think the external enemy has to keep on inflicting and projecting and depicting ideas upon us all night and day? And it has to enforce us to follow these laws so it can just get away with the evil without being held accountable for it. It has to keep putting these messages in our minds, keep putting them in there. You know what? I'm going to come with the flame and the fire the same way as the enemy does, just for good. So in other words, I'm coming with the waters as it comes with the fires. So what, man? Just want to encourage everybody to do something about what's going on, yo. So I'm going to extort good behavior from you. Do something about it. You're just going to keep me living in this miserable world if we don't do anything about it. So I'm going to extort some good behavior from you. How am I going to obtain it by force? Just by putting the message in your face. Just going to hear the words. It's going to resonate, then resignate. Resonate, then resignate. It's going to do it because it makes sense, and you know it does. Obtain it by force. Threats. Those immoral words I said to the recessive genetic class people, I will never hold sympathy for those words, ever. Stop being a problem. So I just said those words. Just more words. Just so happens they were, how can I say it? Venting. It was threatening of vent threatening. Or lamentations. That's what that was. You know what the word lament means in the Bible? Lamentations. The word lamentations means a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. That's what that so-called threat was. But here's the thing, though. It got your attention, and it started making some changes in the world. And it's going to keep on making some changes because I'm going to keep on bringing it up. Obtain something by force, threats, or other unfair means. Unfair means. Now, how is this unfair? Because I have the knowledge of the soul's truth and you don't. So I'm going to take advantage of it and keep on telling you it so I can exploit the soul's behavior out of you or make full usage of the soul's resource or the resources of the soul. Now, I'm going to move on to the soul now. But yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. Just going to extract or obtain a really good behavior from you. So now, last part now. Exploiting the soul's behavior. Exploiting. What does exploiting mean? To make full usage of a resource. To make full usage of a resource. To make full good usage of a resource. I'm going to say good. Ain't nothing good about exploiting anything. No one needs to be used. No one does. But I'm going to flip what the enemy's tactic is for good. So, So to exploit the soul's behavior is this part right here. How do you exploit the soul's behavior? How do you make full usage of the soul's behavior, in other words? How do you make full usage of the soul's behavior? You respect it. What does it mean to respect? Have a deep feeling of admiration for someone or something elicited by its qualities, abilities, or achievements. What does the word elicit mean? To evoke or draw out a response, answer, or fact from someone in reaction to one's own actions or questions, or thine own actions or questions. So, How can you respect the soul if you don't know what the soul is? This is why I told you I'm just going to explain it to you. Just going to say the words. How can you respect the soul if you don't know what the soul is to be respected? You want to know what the soul is, or who the soul is, or what the soul is? The soul is right here. The spiritual or immaterial part, meaning the non-physical body and all physical bodies of a human being or animal regarded as immortal. That's what the soul is. Non-physical body and all physical bodies. So the body of bodies, like the heart of hearts, mind of minds, person of persons, flesh of flesh, bone of bones, atom voice. So peep game, right? To exploit the soul's behavior, you have to respect the soul. That's how you exploit the soul's behavior. At least that's just what I'm going to say, because I'm flipping the enemy's tactics for good here. I don't want to extort or exploit anything, because I'm not the enemy. I'm just pretending so I can get a message across effectively and quickly that'll bring the world not to its knees, but to common grounds. Why would I want you to bow or kneel to me when I want you to stand with me on common grounds? Why would I want you to salute me? Why would I want you to salute or kneel to me when I want you to stand with me on common grounds? Ain't nobody bowing or kneeling to me, yo. Nobody is. Nobody should have to bow or kneel to anyone. Just stand together on common grounds. That's it. Moving forward, though. So, to exploit, meaning make full usage of the soul, is to respect it. That's how you exploit the soul. Respect it. What does the word respect mean? A deep feeling of admiration for someone or something elicited by its qualities, abilities, or achievements. What does the word elicit mean? To evoke or draw out a response, answer, or fact from someone in reaction to thine own actions or questions. What does the word quality mean? The standard of something is measured against other things of a similar kind. What does the word abilities mean? A skill to do something well, or your abilities or capabilities to do something. Power. Or a faculty in your possession that you know how to use. What is an achievement? What you've attained, like a certain ground that you put here before anyone else. Stand on the first one and make it the last one. Stand on the first disposition with me. I'm going to keep on talking to you until you do. I miss you. You're my family, yo. Little devil supposed to have his hands on you. You know what I'm saying? That was unnecessary. But, yeah. To exploit the soul's behavior. Stand on it. Respect it. That's how you exploit the soul's behavior. That's how you make full usage of the soul. Respect it. Let the soul draw out of you its behavioral practices. What's the soul's behavior right now currently? What is a behavior for? First off, a behavior. Oh, and just in case I didn't say the definition of character, character is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. So trust in the mental and moral qualities distinctive to you in order to extort the spirit. I'm gonna say that first. Moving back to the spirit, so to the exploitation of the soul. It's behavior. What is a behavior? The behavior is the way, John 14:6, in which one acts or conducts oneself. A behavior is the way, John 14:6, in which one acts or conducts oneself. So what is the way that our soul acts or conducts itself right now currently? What's the way that our soul acts or conducts itself right now currently? What's the way that it does? Heart. What's the way that our heart of hearts, what is the way that it's acting right now currently? What is the way? How is it acting? You want to know how it's acting? First off, don't move for a second. Have you had a heart attack? Has your soul plunged out of your body and went through the skies to swoop down and force you into some kind of slavery, or force you to follow some law, or force you to follow any kind of death ritual, or humiliation ritual? Is it? Or has it? No. So that means it must be opposite of all things that kill, murder, and destroy. Hmm? Must be completely opposite. I said earlier, shalom meaning destroy, authority attached to chaos, right? The soul is opposite of destruction. You want to know something? We're not destroying anything. We are stopping something from destroying us. Always remember, never forget, you are not the problem. Humanity is not the problem. You've just been beaten half to death so you can be stupid in order to make it seem as if you are the problem. But I'm going to love you back to normal. That's what I'm going to do. Unless you desire to come stop me from doing so. Plan B. But anyways, moving forward with the exploitation of the soul's behavior. How does the soul act? What's the way, John 14:6, of the soul's behavior right now currently? It is opposite of all things evil from the looks of it. Because this ain't hurting me. This soul ain't hurting me at all. It's not. So what is it about then? It would appear it's all about balance, calmness, and serenity. Or it would appear that it's associated with balance, calmness, and serenity. It would appear that this feeling, this actual feel here, this actual emotion is all for balance, calmness, and serenity. Because my emotion ain't trying to kill me at all. Now, is it? How can someone lose control of their emotions, though? How can someone lose control of their emotions? From what my understanding sees, if you got more flesh, then you got mind. But if you got more heart, then you got both of them. Because right now, currently, our women have more heart than they got body, but they got more body than they got mind. They got more heart than they got body, but they got more body than they got mind. Remember, you need logic and emotions to work in one. You need the logic and the emotions to work in one, work in unison, harmony with each other. How can you access this? How can you do this properly? You have to know what logic is and what emotions are, so you can figure out a way to connect the way they would work in harmony and or Taoism sync together. Logic is reasoning conducted or assessed according to strict principles of validities. And emotion is a natural instinctive state of mind deriving from the soul's nature, or logic, or spirit, you see. An emotion is a natural instinctive state of mind deriving from spirit. How do you access the power of your spirit? Using logic, reasoning conducted or assessed according to strict principles of validities. What is reasoning? To think, meaning using your natural instinctive state of mind to think about something in a logical, sensible way. That's one of the fastest ways you can reconnect logic with emotions personally. But in order to honestly do that, or, well, let me not say personally. Well, yeah, personally, because it's your own intrapersonal spirit and soul that's doing that's making the reconnections here, that I'm helping to reconnect here. But the thing is, in order to do it in a physical sense, you need the emotions that were stolen out of you in the beginning of our existence. You follow what I'm saying? That power was stolen out of you to give our women their lives. We need our women back, man. We need our women back. Melanated women in particular. Well, we need our women back, yo. We need our women back. We really do. But the thing is, they're only going to come back to us without two things. Without their entrenchment and without our problems. The enemy is a lie and a truth simultaneously, a problem and a solution simultaneously. Let's look at the solution side of our sisters for a moment. They don't really, truly, honestly want to put us through that madness. And they know they practice it, and they know they generate it. They know they do. So there is a part to them that feels guilty for doing it. Want to know why? Because they got more heart than they got body. Yet they got more body than they got mind. This is why the enemy can take so much advantage of them. We need to protect them. That's why it does. But how can we protect anything when we're not at our strongest and at our best to do so? So, how do we get the best out of all of us? Extort the spirit. How do we get the best kind of behavior out of people? Exploit the soul. Maybe not per se, huh? Just using words to get a point across. Taking everything that the enemy meant for evil and turning it for good. Shalom. Destroy the authority attached to evil, attached to chaos. Destroying the authority attached to chaos. But that's all I wanted to say for this video, though. How to extort the spirit's character. Trust in the spirit, meaning trust in my king inside of his power inside of your mind, or the power that he left inside of your mind, or the power that was extracted from the soul, our Father, to put inside of our mind. Now, we are the children of the Son, literally speaking. If that makes sense to you, just let that hit home. Just let that hit home. Extorting the spirit's character is to trust the spirit. Exploiting the soul's behavior is to respect the soul. Trust in the spirit, respect the soul. You don't have to use extort or exploit. You don't. Like I said, I'm just taking something that the enemy meant for evil, and I'm turning it for good. To explain, just by explaining how to do it. Time to close, though. This video is going to be called Extorting the Spirit's Character and Exploiting the Soul's Behavior. Exploiting the spirit's character and exploiting the soul's behavior. Character, behavior, spirit, soul. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This ain't no victim mentality. It's only about the awareness of what struck me, awareness of what's stricken me, meaning all of me, not just me. When I say this non-victim mentality line, it's about all of me. I'm aware of what's happening to all of me. And it's about the awareness of what struck me, all of me and we. Not a victim mentality. Aware of what's stricken me, like our brothers and sisters being poverty stricken right now. A part of me, a part of we. Whether it hits me directly or not, it still affects me. This world wouldn't be like this if our people were at full power. I wouldn't be going through the things I go through. I know what I go through. I still remember. I still see what's happening to me. I just think about others more than myself more now. It just helps me cope. Helps me move forward a bit better. Gives me a reason to move forward. Just aware of what struck me, aware of what's stricken me, and aware of what will not stop striking me at all. Which is why it ain't about a competition. It's only about the awareness and knowledge of what needs to be stopped. I don't desire to be your king or your leader. I only desire to do or say something that will protect you from the strikers. Therefore, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Defend your neighbor as you defend yourself. At least those who are worthy of the defense. End your love. Be lifted in the spirit and walk good forever. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family. Use the power to perceive